All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Haushai, by Hashem Kadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So, I mean, this is the first episode of GMS all around the world, where basically I just gonna be going through different scriptures, different historical events, different places within the scriptures, and just get a sense to it, kind of liven it up, and just show brothers who aren't really as inclined to maps and different events like that. Just bring it to life to them so that they can see exactly what the scriptures are saying. Because I know for me, just having a visual makes me understand what's really going on a lot better. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna get into it. The first breakdown I want to do is on this Acts chapter 22. It's like Acts chapter 2, starting at verse 9. All right, well, we're gonna go to the point. The point is at 9 and 10, where we're gonna look into, but we're gonna start at verse 8. It says, "And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born." Okay, so this is when they're meeting. All right, they're meeting up, and I believe it's was it the Pentecost? I believe it's the Pentecost. Verse 1. When it was the day of the Pentecost was fully come, they were all on one. They were all with one accord in one place. All right, so these are the days of the Pentecost. People come from everywhere. All right, it says, verse 5. It says, "And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven." All right, so they're from all over, and that's where we're going to get to, where some of these places were. So that's why we're going to jump down here to verse 9. It says, "Parthenians." Who are the Parthenians? All right, so that's the first question. That's what we're going to go into. So let me get to my handy dandy notes. So this is the Parthenian Empire. All of this right here. All right. So as you can see in here, let's see if I can do this right. Right here, about that's where Jerusalem would be. Israel, and then to the east of it, past Saudi Arabia, right where basically Iran. The Parthian Empire is basically um, an Elamite empire. All right, it takes up all of Iran, a lot of where Babylon and Iraq was, Pakistan, all of those countries over there, going all the way pretty much into India, using today's countries, so that you get an idea on what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get a map of it right here. Um, let's see. Iran map. Okay, just giving us Iran. Let me see. Let's do a Middle East map. And even okay, here we go. This is a decent one. So really, when you break this down, fuck, bear with me. When you break this down, all those countries. Like I said, Syria, Iraq, Iran, all the stands, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, all the way to India, which India is just right off the phone to the right. So all of that basically was the Parthian Empire. I also got a little bit of reading on the Parthian Empire. Um, it says the Parthian Empire, also known as the Arsaic Empire, was a major Iranian political and cultural power in ancient Iran. Its latter name comes from Arsaces of Parthenia or Parthia, who as leader of the Parni tribe, founded it in the mid 3rd century BC when he conquered the region of Parthia in Iran's northwest, then Strape province under Andragoras in the rebellion against the Seleucid Empire. So, if you know the scriptures, the Seleucid Empire was one of Alexander's four generals. Territories. So right after this is in the scripture, so that you're aware of where we're at. Um, it said that it reigned from 247 BC to 224 AD. Now, when you in the BC, you're counting backwards almost. So it's like 247. Then the next year will be 246. Then the next year will be 245. So on and so forth. And of course, we know it's 2011, 2012, 2013 in the AD. But these this is the guy who basically um, went to war with the Seleucid Empire and was successful. All right, they got their land because did I get a snapshot of the Seleucid Empire? I thought I did, but they range from the 300s to I'll get it here in a second. Let me see. I just want to get this precept if I can real quick. This is First Maccabees 1:1. It says, and it happened that Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chitin, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes, and he had reigned in his stead over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. Let me jump down real quick, get to the point. Verse 7 says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, every one of his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. All right, so that's where you get Antiochus and all those guys right there in the Seleucid Empire. So let's take another look at it one more time. There we go. There it goes. I had a picture right there. There's a picture of the Seleucid Empire, so that you can see it's pretty much the same area. All right, and a lot of these people are coming from this area. So that means that we were dwelling in these lands. We were dwelling in Iran. We were dwelling in Iraq. We were dwelling in uh, all the stands, like I said, Uzbekistan and Afghanistan and Pakistan. A lot of those people are actually Jakes. You know that they're that the U.S. Army is over there bombing, getting the poppy seeds and this, that, and the third. It's a lot of Jakes over there, man, because we were in these lands. That's why you can't just go off of what somebody looked like. You have to, try the spirit by the spirit. Okay, that they're of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we're in every country. We're in every people on the earth. Okay. Um, I think that's it for the Parthenians. So let's Let me see. Let's move on. It says the Medes and Elamites, like I said, Parthians, Medes, Elamites, they all pretty much go together. All right, there was an Elamite. That was an Elamite rulership. Iran, India, all the stands, all of those are Elamites. That's who those people are. Okay, and when you look at this map of the Medes, it shows you pretty much the same lands. The Median Empire, it's the same land. The Persian Median Empire. Persia is the biblical name for Iran. Persia, Media, it's the same people. It's talking about the same people. So those are the places that those men who were there, that's where they dwelt. All right, to the east of Jerusalem. All right, but you're gonna come and find out that we were everywhere. That we were to the north of Jerusalem. That we were to the west of Jerusalem. That we were to the south of Jerusalem. Why? Because we dwelt on the four corners, so we went to the four corners. All right, so to keep it going, it says, and there were dwellers in Mesopotamia. All right, so let's see where Mesopotamia is. This is Mesopotamia. It's in the same area. All right, just the I guess you would say the western half of where the Parthian Empire was. But when you think of the time, you got to think of the time. Okay, so this takes place during the time of the Lord, right? Right after the time of the Lord. So this is when, um, you know, Rome is still in power and they're still ruling. So a lot of these names are ancient names. A lot of these names are were still relevant in that time. A lot of these, it's just it's really a case by case scenario. Most of these places aren't called these places today. Slakia. So you gotta do your research like we're doing right now to show you what it means. If I say, oh yeah, they were in Mesopotamia, it might not mean anything to you. But if you can see where Mesopotamia dwells, which is right there in that Fertile Crescent, Slakia, the Fertile Crescent, which is between the Mediterranean Sea and the Persian Gulf. But as you can see right there, it entitles the Euphrates River and the Tigris River. All right, because in that land, that's where you're able to grow crops. You can have cattle. You can have all of that in that Fertile Crescent. Because if you go to the north, it's all mountainous regions. As you can see, you got the Caucasus Mountains right there, Esau's habitation, and to the south, you got all desert. All right, and then to the east and west is water. Okay, so that's where it's real fertile right there. Also, out of that land, that's where our forefather Abraham, he came out of the land of the Fertile Crescent. All right, somewhere up in there. So just a fun fact. So that's Mesopotamia. It says in Judea. Now we should know where Judea is, and just because they said Judea, you also got that also has to strike a it should stand out to you because it said there were people dwelling in Judea, not in Israel, because at that time we weren't called Israel. The tribes were split, so it was the land of Judea. So here we are. This is the land of Judea, where basically it's the land of Judah, where the tribe of Judah had their inheritance. All right, so you got notable cities there, and then that's where in the New Testament you get there are men of Galilee and Nazareth, men of Samaria, where when we went to slavery, you know, they brought in the Hamites and whatnot to dwell where in Samaria. That's where you get all these other names from. Phoenicia is basically the goddamn the Hamites. The it's escaping me right now. I know it's gonna come back here in a second, but the Canaanites, to start with a P, is killing me. But I'll get it in a second. Let me see. So this is a ancient map of um, Israel. This is Israel. This is Israel. This is Judea. All right. This is Judah. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty much the same place as Judea. It's all the same, but that's how they split it up. When the 12 or when the 10 tribes went their way, and the three tribes stayed, that's the split of the land, pretty much. Um, that's gonna kill me. I know I can look it up real quick, but I want to get it on my own. So if I say some random stuff here in a little bit, that's probably what it is. Let me see. I'm losing my train of thought. Here we go. It says, Parthians and Medes and Elamites in the doors of Mesopotamia and Judea and Cappadocia. All right, Cappadocia. Where's Cappadocia? Let's get that. Ooh, Cappadocia, which is in modern Turkey. Okay, Slovakia. A lot of these countries, or a lot of these places, were to the north of Jerusalem in Turkey. Because as you can see, this is a Tarsus, where Paul was from, was in Turkey. Galatia, you got Caesarea, Cilicia, Pamphylia, Ephesus, Asia, Phrygia. Okay, so um, Pontus, okay, Bithynia. All of these names sound familiar. Why? Because we read them in the scriptures, and it's just talking about Turkey. That's all it's talking about, to the north. Cyprus, all these names are named. Let me see, because when you read, it says Cappadocia, and in Pontus, and in Asia, and Phrygia, and Pamphylia. Okay, all of these are parts of Turkey, modern day Turkey, right there to the north of Israel, to the north of the Mediterranean Sea, and just south of the Black Sea. That's Turkey. That's also where the Holy Roman Empire, the so-called Holy Roman Empire, was established in Istanbul. That's the capital. It was under a different name back then. Um, but fuck. Yes, yeah, yeah. You gotta forgive me, man. I get these brain farts, and it be on the tip of my tongue, and it bothers me when I can't just spit it out just like that, rocket fire. Um, let me see. Go by the ancient name. It was under the ruler. It's killing me. Come on, Google. I ain't asked for that. Oh yeah, okay. So it's like the Byzantine Empire, Istanbul. Come on, come on. Yeah, bear with me. I'm sorry. It's this one got to me. This is why I just try to keep on moving, keep it moving, because I'll be over Constantinople. There we go. Constantinople under the Emperor Constantine. Jeez, get it together. Thank y'all for bearing with me though, man. I know that really didn't have too much, but I mentioned it. But yeah, that's where the Holy Roly that's it, the Holy Roly. The Holy Roman Empire was settled right there in Turkey. Alright. And today was called Istanbul, back then was Constantinople. Okay. Um that's where you get it was right there in Pontus. Okay. So I believe that was most of the cities that was named on there. Let me see: Parthians, Medes, Elamites, dwellers in Mesopotamia, and Judaea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, because Asia is more than just a continent. All right, Asia, which is named after um, Asiaticus. Okay, um, he was a Edomite warrior, okay, who had it says that they named lands after him. That's a very good example of that. Uh, and Africanus was his brother. That's where Africa, I believe that's it. Is it Africanus? Yeah, Africa is named basically after that general, and Asia is named after it as well. But that land Asia was in right there, as you can see. Ephesus is in Asia. So Asia was more than just the name of a continent. So we say Asia, has different meanings. Okay. Um, Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt and parts of Libya about Cyrene. All right. So we should all know where Egypt is. That's where we came out of. It's gonna be let's see right here. If we can zoom in, that's Egypt. Right there across the Red Sea, or the Gulf of Suez, I believe that's called, and that's where Israel is. All right, let's see, Pontus. We got Pontus, Cyrene. So Cyrene is in Libya. It's on the tip of Africa. All right, right there by the Mediterranean Sea, right there on the shores. Cyrene is right there, as you can see. And we had a lot of people in Libya. You know, um, Hannibal, who was a Jake, he's from Libya. All right, from Carthage, I believe. But that's a whole nother lesson. We're not gonna get into that. We seen what happens when I start going in. So we're just gonna leave that alone. And Lord's will, that's another lesson. But you know, bear with me 1 second. So that's Cyrene right there in Africa. And so we were in all these places, man. In Cyrene, and in, here's Turkey. So you got Asia, and Ephesus, and Cilicia, and Cyprus, and Caesarea. Um, just man, all over, man. We were in Parthenia, all these different lands, as you can see, all the different places that we were, all the different places that we've been, and that's where it can be confusing, where it says all these different places, but they're all relatively in the same vicinity. All right, Slovakia. So let me see. So I believe that's it. It said Cretes and Arabians. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if I can find a good map right here. It should be able to, yeah. So this is the island of Crete, right there. Right there in the middle of the Mediterranean. So if you wanted to get to Crete, you could either catch a boat right there from Cyrene to Crete. You can come from the north, where this looks like a hand where it says Achaia, and Athens and Corinth. That's all Greece. So you can take a boat south from Greece. You could come from the east going west, coming from Asia or one of those cities right there. But everything is relatively in the same area, except for Rome. Rome is still kind of far away, but in general terms. But as you can see, there's a this that's the map of Paul's ship when he got lost in the storm. So this is the road that he took from Rome, coming all the way home to um to the land, to Jerusalem. Um, I think that's about it. I think that's covering everything. You see Crete and Arabians. It says Cretes and Arabians, do we hear them speak in our tongue and wondrous works of the Most High? So we'll get this last one, which is Arabia. Arabia is right here. You know, most of it is that desert land. All right, um, oil-rich land, Arabia. A lot. It's gonna be a place of judgment, man. When this Third World War comes off, it pops off. A lot of the whole Middle East is basically the the Armageddon. I'm saying the Valley of Megiddo, so to speak. All this land right here is gonna be destroyed. All right, it's gonna be a big war, and through prophecy, all that's gonna be taken out. But as far as today's lesson, about the different places where the Jews got together, or the different places where the Jews came from when they got together at the Pentecost. There you go. I hope you brothers were edified. Um, and put it on the comment board if y'all want me to go through anything else through a spirit. Again, this was the first episode or the first lesson here in GMS all around the world. You know, the Most High put the spirit on me to do these lessons. So, here it goes. With that being said, call law to Yahweh by Shem Yashai, by Shimmer Dash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.